Welcome back to JJW Outdoors. Justin here. Today we are going to be getting some wild onions and we're going to be making a wild onion powder. Hope you enjoy. This powder is going to be used for so many different food items that you make. Me personally, I'm going to be using it for my eggs, and I got a special thing we're going to do with the powder that I'm not going to give away because I think you're going to like it. Stay tuned at the end of the video. See what I do with this onion powder. All right, so we are looking through here. And I found right here some wild onion. That is awesome. Okay, so right down here, we're actually gonna grab this. We're gonna pull straight up like this. Nice. Wild onions right there. So I'm gonna set you up on the trail over there. And I'm just gonna walk through this place right now and see how much I can gather up. When making wild onion powder, what you need to do first is we need to dehydrate it. So we're gonna gather it all up. I'm gonna show you how to clean it, and then we're gonna take it home and dehydrate it. Let's do it. Just some wild onions. Now, when I'm picking these onions, I am not pulling the bulbs up on these ones. I'm just pulling them out of the ground, so therefore they will grow back every year. And this is pretty much what we want for onion powder anyways. But when you pull some up, careful not to get too much grass. And what I like to do is on the ends, these burnt little ends, I just poke them off now. And then when you get home, you just rinse them off and they're ready to go. You just chop them up, throw them right in your dehydrator. So I'm gonna look for some more and I'll get right back to you. All right, so really quick, got the bulb on the end of this one. You can see there's like a film over it. You wanna pull that film just straight off, and it peels off really, really easy. Now remember, with these wild onions, if they do not smell like an onion, you do not want to eat them because it could hurt you. The roots on the end just pop right off just like that. Just peel it right back. Now you can actually see where there's an actual onions in there. I'm actually gonna take this, throw it in the woods. But yes, there you go. Now you have harvested your onion. It is ready to eat and chop up. We're actually going to dehydrate these ones. All right, here's another one. We're just gonna peel it up like that. This one came clean really easy, even easier than the other one. Then I'm just gonna pop the roots off. This is what's nice about doing it right outside. You just toss them right in the ground. Don't have to worry about nothing. Right there. So I actually found quite a few of them, which is great, especially for me in making this onion powder. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna head over to the home. We are going to get our onions. We're gonna rinse all of our onions. And then we're gonna chop our onions up and dehydrate them and get them ready to be dehydrated is what we're gonna do. Let's head home. As you can see, I have a lot of onions here, and I have some pheasantback mushrooms. Don't pay attention to those because that's gonna be a separate video, but check out the wild onions. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse them off, and we're gonna head out in the garage because that's where I have my dehydrator. I recommend dehydrating out in the garage when you do something like this, because if you dehydrate in your house, your whole house is gonna smell like onions. So, just a little tip and trick, do it out in the garage. I learned that the hard way. So it is gonna be a little loud, but I do have the garage door shut, so hopefully the car noise won't be too bad. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my onions and I'm gonna leave that hole like that. I might even just break them like this. I'm just gonna lay them all down inside of this. I am just personally gonna break them because we're gonna grind them up later anyways. So I'm just gonna break them so they fit inside of here like this. Just like that. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a couple trays. I'm just gonna let them go like this. I'll probably throw another tray on here in a second. and then we'll do another one. So I'll take one of these, put it there, like that. Just like this. So the ones that are closer to the top will dehydrate way faster than the other ones that are further away. So I want to do kind of a little bit of both. Now they are soaking wet because I just cleaned them, but that'll be okay. There we go. Now, for my dehydrator, you do not have to have this dehydrator, but you need a dehydrator. Just gonna set that right on there like that. I want mine to be in between 105 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna let it sit on that. It will take roughly 24 hours to dry out completely. So I like to just let these go all night and check them in the morning and see how they're doing. So that is what we're gonna do right now. So I will see you tomorrow morning. Well, good morning, everybody. We are going to be checking out our beautiful onions now. Let's see how they're doing. So, this morning when I first got out here, I flip-flopped my trays because the onions seemed to be pretty much done, and the mushrooms did not. So don't look at the mushrooms. That is a totally different video. But let's check out our onions. Oh yes, they are definitely dry. So I got a Red Bull here. We are just gonna kind of crinkle them up like this. Just like that. This one's not completely dry yet, but I think we're just gonna take it right out. But they are looking good. Definitely dry. So it's almost been 24 hours. It was probably been 20 now. It's still morning, but it's late morning. There's one tray. Let's check this tray. Yeah, see, a couple of these big ones yet are not done since my mushrooms have to keep going. Take the ones out that aren't doing so good. Keep the ones in there. Keep dehydrating. It's mainly the thicker ones that aren't done yet, like this one and this one. And you can't overdo the onions, especially in a dehydrator like this. In the oven you could, because you could actually burn them. But doing it just like this is not a big deal. So I think we're gonna leave the rest of this in here for right now. And let's just turn them on for a couple hours. So I will see you in a few hours. Now that our onions are completely done, we are going to bring our couple trays inside, and we're gonna put them in that Red Bull, and we're gonna start grinding them up. I ended up changing something on you. I'm very sorry about it, but I did. I put all those onions inside a glass jar versus the Red Bull that I had earlier. So don't be alarmed, this is the exact same stuff. I just put it in a glass jar versus the Red Bull. And I'll show you why in just a second. When doing this, we're going to take our jar, we're going to take a back of a spoon, and we're just going to start crunching them up just like this. You can actually hear the crunching. What we're literally doing is we're just breaking our onions up into a finer powder, like this. And then that is going to make our onion powder. And then once we get it into smaller chunks, we're actually going to put it into a blender. All right, everybody. As you can see, we got our onions here. We have our grinder here. We have our top to the grinder. All we're going to do is we're just going to sprinkle some of this right inside of here. But see why it's nice to cut some of it up first with the spoon by grinding it. It just makes it fit a little easier, a little bit nicer. Like I said, you will make a mess. Just make sure you clean it up. Put the top on like this. Top should be on. Let's do it. add a little more. That is all I am doing there. I'm literally just gonna keep adding it, grinding it up, and making it into a powder. When it gets to a consistency of a powder base, I will get back to you and let's take a look at it. All right, so I've been going back and forth quite a bit. And now we're getting to a very fine consistency. And I'm getting another bowl out. But this stuff right here looks pretty much done to me. Look at that. Nice and fine, nice and powdery. I'm gonna do this stuff a little bit more. Actually, I'm gonna put that in there. Like that. We're gonna do this one just a little bit more. And then I am pretty much done. But you can see it is a very fine base powder now. Don't forget to stay all the way to the end of this video, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Share this video if you know of anybody who would love to do some onion powder like I am. Now remember, I have a very special, very cool way of cooking with this onion powder. So make sure you stay all the way to the end to see what I cook. Time to cook up some good food. So we're gonna start off with some ham, just like so. We're gonna let her sizzle. Put it on high right away. That's usually how I do it. Then take a good hunk of butter, toss it right in the middle, and I stir. Right, now that the butter's all melted and everything, I'm gonna put it on low. Oh, sprinkle some onion dust. Some beautiful, beautiful onion dust. We're going to stir our onions around just like this. Now make sure you cook these onions well. Especially since they're dry, you kind of want the butter to soak up in them. And then it'll taste way better. Now, onion powder is definitely a little bit stronger than regular onions you can go buy from the store. So I recommend using a little bit unless you really like onions. But you can always add more later. Alright, just like this, we are ready for our eggs. 1 egg. 2 eggs. We're going to keep stirring. Alright, once it gets to this point, we are going to be putting a little bit of cheese in here. Like so. And I usually turn it off. Just let it heat up with the pan. And once your cheese is all melted, you are ready to go. Look at that. Now we need a plate, then we need a taco shell, then we need our food to go right on top, just like so. Look at that. There you have it, everybody. That is how you use the wild onion powder in eggs. This is by far my favorite way to do it. And it tastes amazing. So like I said, it's a little bit stronger than using like a normal onion. For some reason, the wild onions are definitely stronger. So just put a little bit in it, make some food, try it, put a little bit more in. But if you really like onions, dump a big old spoonful on there. It'll taste good just like this. I'm going to enjoy this. Then we're going to be making another dish using a different method. I am really excited about this. I have not tried this yet, but we are going to be using our wild onions, of course, onion powder. We're going to be using some bread, and we're going to be using some butter. Can you guess what I'm making in the comments below? Let me know. I will see you around lunchtime. Now that we have our beautiful onion powder, we are going to get ourselves a stick of butter. I'm going to use a whole stick. You can use as much as you want, but we are going to be mixing our onion powder in with our butter, just like that, and just stir. Obviously, you're going to need some soft butter when doing this. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep mixing like this and dump a little bit at a time. Now, I actually have not done this before, so I'm really excited about this and excited to try this out. And I'll show you what we're actually going to use it on here in a little bit. You can see. You can definitely see the onion green. Actually looks way more green on the camera than it does in person. Definitely smells like onions, but I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And there we go. Now we have butter and onion powder mixture. Now we just gotta cook with it. Now that our butter is done, completed, we are going to take our butter, onion mixture. We're gonna put it on just like this. Doesn't that look good? I'm excited to try this. So like I said, I have not tried this yet. So we're going to start it off on low. Throw that on there. We're going to put our 2 pieces of cheese like so. Then we're going to butter the other side. Nice. And then this can go on top. And now we just wait. Oh, grilled cheese, baby! It's getting there. It's almost done now. Look at that. A little bit more on this side and I'm done. Alrighty. We got our grilled cheese. I am super excited about this. Now kids, don't forget. Ask your parents if you can cook first. You gotta try this. Let's take a bite. That is really good. Me personally, I want to put a little bit more onions in it to make it a little bit stronger of a taste, but this is really good. Get out, make this. Second dish with the onion powder. That is good. Let me know in the comments below. Do you want to see me get out in the woods and make something out in the woods using my onion powder? Let me know. I would love to go out in the woods and make an onion powder dish just for you. This is good though. Get out, try this. Isn't that amazing? Now you know how to make onion powder. I'm telling you right now, onion powder is the way to go, especially when you use wild onions, because they grow right in your backyard. They grow right in the woods. All you gotta do is go find them, pick them, and then you have the abundance with you right now. Plus, if you dry them out like I did, they will stay with you for a long time and you don't have to worry about them. Some people said a couple years, some people said a lot longer than that. Usually they don't last me a couple years, so hey, get out there and make some onion powder for yourself. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will see you on the next video. So first you need the onion powder, then you need the butter mixture with onion powder, then you got your beautiful grilled cheese.